Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Inshallah, I think, Sarah, we can wait a few more seconds to see if somebody, because I don't see anybody right now, so we can just wait a few seconds before we
Okay, no
start
problem.
talking about our subject, inshallah.
Are you on the Facebook group? Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope everyone is well.
How was your week, Sarah?
It was my week. Alhamdulillah, it was actually nice in the end. We had inspection at school. So the last 2 weeks, I've been super stressed out about that because not because of me, but because they want proof that you're doing everything right. That's
It's
the problem. It's the
fun.
proof,
Yeah,
the
it's funny.
evidence. So that's taken up 2 of my weeks, but alhamdulillah it's over, and I just have 2 weeks left of school, and then inshallah I'm free as a bird. I think I told you guys before I'm resigning from work, so that's a super cool thing for me now, inshallah. A new chapter of my life, hopefully.
Mashallah.
I've been a working mum for a very long time, so it's just time for me to have a little break and spend some time with you guys, inshallah, right, Iram? And
And,
parenting with Allah by my side, all of
and
our all of our community, our tribe, inshallah. So you might see me a little bit more often. What about you, Iram? How was your week?
Alhamdulillah, it was good. It was good. We went for a road trip, sort of a nature walk kind of a thing yesterday. It was nice. Alhamdulillah, we have our viewers joining in, inshallah. So let's start talking about what we are here for: long summer holidays.
Yeah, long summer holidays. And when we were planning this, then when we kept saying the long summer holidays, because I think a lot of parents actually think, oh God, it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and depending on where you live.
Uh-huh.
And it's a long time to fill up, right? To make sure that the kids are occupied, and I see you see those memes, right? Especially the ones after lockdown. I remember because it was longer than any holiday that anyone had ever had. Do you
Yeah,
remember when they were kicking the kids out of the car to the curb? I mean,
exactly. Yes. Um,
but we in the Parenting with Alabama side don't want you to do that. So we want you guys to enjoy your time with your children. So we have a few tips that we've done with our families, and we wanted to share those with you, right, Imam?
yes, inshallah. Yours is the first part, so inshallah. You start while I take care of something here on my left side.
No worries at all. So, first of all, I just wanted to say that for mashallah, since my eldest has been at school, which is around 12 years of, so she's been of school age, I have noticed the holidays. Before that, I guess I didn't really realize, even though as a school teacher, I realized that we did have holidays, but we just used to, relax and go out and things like that. And the kids were little, so we didn't really have to do much to occupy them. As they got older, I think they got a little bit more like comparing with other people. They start comparing, oh, they did this and we did that. And, even I think 2 years ago when we went to the UK, we ended up doing a bit of a road trip. And I think, Iram, I've mentioned this before to you when you told me that you guys drove all the way, was it all the way to Houston, right? From where you are? Which was amazing, and I said to her that, we'd have to drive about 3 times around the UK to do that much. So it's a road trip, but you've got to imagine in UK terms, a road trip is a few hours, not that long. But we did, and they really, really enjoyed it. But at one point, I think one of my nephews was like, yeah, but so-and-so went to a theme park and we didn't go to a theme park. And literally, me and my sister looked at each other like, oh my God, like all of the things that we've done for you guys, we've planned, we've gone out, you've spent so much time with your cousins. And at the end of the day, oh, we didn't do one little thing and look how upset you are, So I think, it's very important that we realize or we do things that the kids want to do as well as what we want to do. And again, I know I'm going to draw on my own experience, so I do apologize if it sounds like I'm talking about myself, but I want to share that experience with you. So I live abroad. Well, so I live far away from all friends and family. So when I go back, a lot of my time was taken up with meeting people. And, I haven't seen my aunties, my uncles, my friends for a very long time. And I just want to see them. I want to spend time with them. And it's kind of difficult to divide that up between family time and friend time and my kids' time. And my kids love going to the UK because they see all of their friends and family, but they don't feel like they've had a holiday. So we ended up doing stops on the way there and stops on the way back. And then my mum was like, "What is wrong with you? You're crazy, you're mental, you're dragging these 5 kids around all over the world." But it's I guess it's talking about pre-COVID times where we had that freedom and we were able to do that, right, Iram? It's just, and being home educators, we want to give our kids all these different experiences, and they've experienced a lot. But coming up to these holidays, I feel like it's a bit more different because now they are going to be a little bit more restricted in terms of where we can go, where we can't go, whether you're vaccinated, whether the kids are vaccinated, whether, because I don't know about you guys over there, but we have to, every child over the age of 12 now has to have the vaccine. So it's getting a bit more ramped up. So we just thought that me and Iram thought we'd come and give you a couple of things to do. So my main I guess piece of advice is to make a rough schedule. Now you'll be like, hang on, is it a schedule or is it a rough draft? No, it's a rough schedule, right? Because you have to understand that things can change, plans can change, people can say stuff, So if you do something that's really rigid and you want to really strictly stick to it, you're going to get upset, you're going to be disappointed, because it might be that you've scheduled a whole day out somewhere, or you've scheduled a whole planned day of activities and the kids are not in the mood, right? Mm-hmm. It happens. Or your husband's not in the mood, or maybe one of the kids something's happened to them, so they're just like, oh, I can't do this or whatever, and that's fine. So the idea is to kind of slot in the activities that you can do, then, and focus on the things that are rigid, that you can't move. Like, for example, if you've got any classes that you want to take, right? So there could be online classes, there could be outdoor classes, there could be people that are coming to your house. And one of the things that I think me and Iram did talk about when we were planning this, I hope I haven't disappeared from the thing because my internet is not good.
No, you're good. You're
good. So one of the things that we were talking about, right, was when the kids are on holiday, there's more time for us as adults as well, and them, to give them more tarbiyah, to bring them up, to give them more guidance, to talk about more Islamic things. And we tend to do it during Ramadan, which I'm sure everyone did. But then, after that, we kind of wane off a little bit. So summer's a really good time to get that going. And even I remember when I was a kid, my mum would wake us up in the morning, or we'd get up in the morning, and our first job would be to read our Quran. And we used to call it our sabak. I don't know if anyone ever uses that word anymore.
No, we do. We still call it sabak.
Yeah, we call it sabak. My kids don't. But one of my friends started laughing. She was like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that word for years." So we used to call it that, but even though obviously we weren't actually physically learning it, but we were just reciting and going over. So it was a nice routine. And I guess now when I'm older and I think back and I remember that time of all of us cousins sitting in my uncle's house on the sofas, or they were at our house and we were all reading or reciting. And then we knew that once we've done that job, then we're free to do whatever we want during the day. So there are lots of things to do. Like I said, try to have some kind of schedule, try to be a little bit flexible, and also give your kids lots of choices. Again, when you're giving them choices, they feel like they've decided what to do, which again helps you as a parent, because first of all, you don't need to think about, would they like to do this? Would they like to do that? And give them loads of options. Just give them the choice. Just say, what would you like to do today? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? Or they can come up with their own ideas. So my 6-year-old often comes to me and he says, can we do this challenge from YouTube? And can we do that challenge from YouTube? So they've done quite a few different challenges, like, they've done the spiciest noodle ones. They've done the eating one color of food a day. They've done the where they throw a bucket of water, but instead they just jump into the pool. They're just crazy, these kids of mine. And the thing is that it's okay. Let them be crazy. This is the time where we can let them be a little bit off key. It's okay. Let them. I know that we as parents, again, we want to like, no, the children should be behaving. They should be sitting down. They should be, yeah, they do that at school. We're at home. We're not going to do that. We're not going to restrict them so much. So yes, they're going to come up with crazy ideas. But we're going to kind of like let them be creative. So I'm sure that all of you guys have done these things as well, but letting them camp inside, sometimes when they can sleep in the mum and dad's room, it's like so awesome. It's like, wow, you guys are letting us sleep here on the floor, we're so lucky, and it's like a huge deal to them. Or what my eldest did a couple of times, she planned a midnight feast. So we went into our room pretending to be asleep, and then they would sneak downstairs and go and get some biscuits and milk and take it upstairs and be like, yay, we're having a midnight feast. And it's okay, it's the summer holidays. You can let them do stuff like that. So it's just interesting for them. And it's like it just brings this element of, right, the holidays are different to the daytime. And I realized that the main problem I guess most mums will have is, how do you keep the house clean? How do you manage all the cooking, right? How do you manage all the different activities? And they make such a huge mess everywhere. Okay, so one of my favorite quotes, and I'm sure you've heard this, Iram, right, is that, please excuse the mess, my kids are making memories, right? Okay, and finally, who are we keeping the house clean for? Like, okay, I understand you need a bit of space to walk around and, make sure there's nothing like horrible Legos on the floor. I hate that. I hate stepping on Lego. But you can actually be really flexible and have fun games and fun ideas and not worry too much about the mess. Now, I understand that there will be those times where you as a mother are going to be like, you know what, I just need a break from these guys. And we have a plan for you. Okay, we will talk about that later on. But right now we're talking about the kids. So every child has a job. Okay, so one of the kids is in charge of collecting all the books from everywhere, because I don't know about you guys, but my kids love reading books and they love leaving them everywhere, especially in the bathroom, in the kitchen, near the kitchen table where they have their cereal and stuff like that. So I'm forever collecting these. So there's always got to be a box in every room that is just for all the books. So the books go from the downstairs back up to their rooms. Okay, then you can have in the same box, or you can have a separate box for all the other odds and ends. And I think you guys might have heard me talk about this before as well. But you just have this one box. So anything that doesn't belong in that room, you chuck it in there, and at the end of the day, it goes back to the right room. That's one of my main pieces of advice. The next thing is the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink, when it has dishes in it, again, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like, oh my God, it's so stressful. Every time I walk past that kitchen sink, it's got dishes in it. So I end up either washing it or getting someone to wash it. To be honest, nobody in my house likes to wash dishes. It's weird. I know I'm probably the only person in the world, but I don't mind washing dishes. But I guess it's because I hate having that sink full of dishes. So I do have a dishwasher, alhamdulillah. And if there's one thing in the world that I advise anyone to buy, it probably is a dishwasher. But if you haven't got one, don't worry. Grab an apron, grab a tea towel, whatever it is, and just chuck it over the dishes so you never see them. So it's okay. Don't worry about it, right? It's hidden. No one can see it. I love you laughing. You thought I had some quick way of washing the dishes, right? But I do have one more bit of advice. Those of you, again, who've got this extra budget and those houses belong to you, I have seen online, and I do believe that, inshallah, if I ever have my own house that I live in, the one that I live and own together, then I think that I would put this tap in there. I don't know if you've seen it, which one I'm talking about. They have it in the restaurants. It's like a spray tap, like a shower. Yeah, that's the one that I need. And I think, do you guys have it in America, Iram? I think you do, right? You have that one. Yeah, that's the one that I want. And I want double sinks, so that you've got one that are for, the little bits and bobs, and then one for the stuff you need to soak. Yeah, this is a kind of thing that is kind of logistics and planning, and that gets your life going in more of an order, right? So you can carry on. Another thing that I do want to say and I do want to mention, and it's my mum's thing, like bless her, mashallah, every time we would go out when we were kids, she'll be like, just let me wash the dishes before I go. So I guess that that's probably ingrained in me, that if there's dishes in the sink, you can't leave the house. But again, if you chuck that apron on it, chuck a tea towel on it, no one can see it, no one's going to worry about it, and you can do it all later on. So the dishes is usually my job. When you clean up the bathroom, just let every child, I don't know about England, but like here we have so many bathrooms and it's really annoying. So if I am by myself and I have to clean the rooms by myself, I make all of them bath in the same room. That is really important to me because I don't want to clean any of the bathroom. So I'll make them bath in the same room so that I can get that sorted. And I know those of you that are in the UAE, Middle East, Pakistan, India, you will understand my, I think you guys as well in America, you've got more bathrooms. I think it's only the UK that only has one bathroom per house. And seriously,
It's a
sometimes,
European thing. I think it's a
yeah,
European thing.
I get
Yeah,
so
I mean,
stressed
the houses are fine. The houses are big. It's not like the houses are all cramped. All houses
out.
are cramped. But one about I just don't understand. Like everybody smells everybody's.
But we do. We end up waiting outside. You know, we end up sitting on the stairs. You guys will be there. If you guys are commenting, please let us know what it's like in England, especially when you have a teenage brother. Oh my goodness, I remember him taking hours in the bathroom, and we'd be like, "There's three girls. We take half an hour between us, but this one boy takes 1 hour." You know, and there's these like hilarious stories of where we had to wake up early so that we could go before him. You know, so yeah, be careful about that. And finally, like I said, the indoor games, there are plenty of them. And like I said, we have got a plan for you. We have got lots of things we want to share with you, inshallah. So I will now hand over to Iram to talk about you guys.
Alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. I love the just chuck on the towel or anything on the dishes. That's true. That's so true. I'm not a very I'm not I don't mind mess. I don't mind mess. I'm a messy person. Actually, the more messier, the better. I mean, my work desk, the more messier, the better I work. I don't know for some reason, but with the dishes, yes, the mothers have taught us. Like mothers have ingrained in us that
Rain.
kitchen should be clean because then the rest of your day flows. And somehow we are tied to that concept, and that is a very tiring concept. And earlier, when my children were younger, getting out of the house was a big hassle. Not because my kids were very demanding. Mashallah, I've always had very calm kids. That's another thing that I recognize my blessing. But the thing is, I was never calm because I was like, I have to clean the kitchen, and only then I can get out of the house. And by the time I would get out of the house, everything else was like, yeah. So there's just one thing. Fahima says, how do you accommodate all age groups? My kids are 16, 14, 12, 9, and 7. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So I wanted to, do you want to address that? How to accommodate? Because you have given good tips already, but
Accommodating the, okay, so basically with my kids, mine are similar ages to yours actually. So I've got 17, 15, soon to be 12, soon to be 7 and 4, right? So I've got similar age issues as well. And we always have this problem, we really do. And it's a huge thing that sometimes these older kids don't want to do what the younger kids want to do, and the opposite. But we do have some activities that they do all together. But I have to say that with the older kids, I do let them have their own time as well. So like, I think, did I mention at the beginning? I don't know if I was talking to you or if it was on a voice note. But earlier today, oh yeah, that's it. One of my friends messaged me, and I told her, because one of my girls was on my phone and she read the message. So it was like, listen, I wasn't ignoring you, but yeah. So I think I told her. But anyway, long story short, I took the little one swimming and the older one stayed at home, right? So in my mind, I feel like it's okay if you do that. It's fine. And when you take the little ones by yourself somewhere, they appreciate that as well, because having 4 or 5 kids, they want that me time. They want that special time with mum. You know, and sometimes I take them out for, like, you know, whenever I have an errand to run, they're the ones that come with me. So if I have to go, you know, around the corner, whatever, it's the youngest, right? They're like, me, you know. The oldest ones, they don't care. They're just like, okay, bye, see you later, you know. And I actually told the little ones while they were swimming, I said, oh, by the way, mum's going to work tomorrow, trying to, you know, in my own mind, like calm them down. It's okay. And they were like, what? You're going to work? Huh? is Dad going as well, or just you? And I was like, just me. And they were like, party, it's party time. Miriam's going to let us drink Coke tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I do get the older ones to watch the younger ones, and I do get them to kind of supervise their activities a bit as well. So having extra time to, watch each child is really difficult. But I can get Hafsa and Aisha to cook together, to bake together. Suleiman, he loves anything to do with like baking, cooking, and chopping things and whatever. Yeah, he loves it. And Zach does as well, or Zach used to, but now Zach's just like a boy, like feed me, do this, do that. So we have to really encourage him to be like, no, listen, you live in the house, you set the table, you do this, you do that. So like I said, that each kid has their own responsibility. So Zach's responsibility is to take the bins out, and whenever there's a knock on the door, he has to answer the door. Like literally, that is his two jobs. And it is a huge job, because I mean, I don't know about you guys in Iram, but for us, we're getting deliveries every 5 minutes, like delivery for this, delivery for that, because we can't go out anywhere. Like, well, we can, but we don't. So we're getting delivery. So yeah. So what I would say is spend time with them separately and find things to do that they will enjoy together. So one of the things that my kids enjoy is the card games. I don't know if I mentioned that when I said the indoor activities. I wrote them down, but I didn't mention. So when I said about the camping, the sleeping on their mum and dad's floor, midnight feast, floor is lava. Floor is lava. I don't know why. All 5 of them love it. It's crazy. The other day they changed it to a Ninja Warriors course. They're still going on the same course, which is the sofas to the exercise bike, climb over it, get onto the other side, get onto the beanbag, and then jump around. So we've got our course that we do in the living room. But again, they just changed the name of it, and all of a sudden it became a new game. So give them chalk. I like giving them paint, but not as often. But it's okay in the kitchen on the tiled floor, so you can just quickly mop it up and clean up easily. But I don't like giving them paint too often. But I do give them a lot of chalk to write, draw, whatever you want. Draw on the walls, draw on the floor. Not here, sorry, not inside, outside, obviously, in their backyard. So there are lots of things that they can actually do together. And again, don't worry if a child is not playing the game themselves. They're still enjoying that family time together. So like sometimes Miriam will just sit and read a book while we're playing a card game. It doesn't mean that she's not involved, it doesn't mean that she's not enjoying her time or she's not with the family. Just don't force them to join in. That's what I found. And if you don't force them, they join in all by themselves. And the final thing about the swimming, the other three actually all came outside at one point or another to go. And I was like, come on, then just jump in. And they were like, yeah, but no, it's all right. And they went back inside. So the point is that it's, that they see someone else doing something and they'll either join in or they won't join in. But you don't need to worry about whether they joined in or not. Oh my God, she didn't swim today, or he didn't go for a bike ride today, or she didn't. Let's not worry about it. Let's just chill. And, my main aim for the kids going swimming every day or going out or doing an outdoor activity is to tire them out. So that, again, when it comes down to Iram, she's going to talk about that as well. So I don't want to overlap with her. But seriously, we need our time, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I hope that helps, Fahima.
Now, I tried writing down all your points. I don't know if it shows on Facebook, but it shows on YouTube, all the points that you were saying. I kept writing them down because the answer that you gave to Fahima, I believe, mashallah, tabarakallah, it's really helpful. And I think being homeschoolers, being a teacher, so we have this that you're a teacher, you work in the school space, you're a homeschooler, you work in home space, you blend both. And so this attitude is actually what basically my talk is going to be about, that it is all about our attitude. When we come to we're not going to give schedules today because that's for later on, inshallah. We will give out plans, we will give out schedules, etc. Inshallah, at the end, Sara will let you all know. However, what I want to talk about is, in order to do all the things that Sara said to do, the mother needs to have a mindset. Now, I will go off on a very realistic note that we know that mothers carry the burden of majority of this. The majority of the hours are spent by the mothers. Rarely it is that the mother and father both are working, and so they have daycares or they have somebody come in and look in with the children, and then they have to plan differently. So every household is different, but majorly it's the moms who are taking care of the children, and when the children are of different ages, you know how to plan for their activities. However, for a mother to understand her routine or to make a schedule, now the schedule is not a stuck thing. Schedule is something that goes around, like in the last conversation, Sarah said, it goes around the salah. So a schedule can go around the salah, and it can be a routine. So you have something that's urgent, you have something that's non-urgent, you have something that you can delegate, and then you have something that you can eliminate. So what is urgent? What is urgent? Washing dishes every day is not urgent. Washing dishes, like Sarah said, it can be delegated. Washing clothes, if we have a big family and that is the need that we wash laundry, if we do laundry every day, and we have children ages 12 and up, they can always, actually, in fact, ages 10 and up can also do laundry, or we can delegate it to them, and then we can ask the children to help us fold it or keep it back or keep the separates, etc., etc. Because my children do the laundry as well. And that's one job they hate, and that's one job that I hate, and so I make them do it because I'm the boss, of course. But but,
I love that.
I mean, like there are perks to parenting. Of course, you at the end of the day, you say, "I'm the parent," and you do this, and I'll do something for you, and we exchange. We have conversations. Don't worry, it's not child labor. Although they suggest that what you're making us do is child labor, which is not. But it's life skills. So that is not urgent. Urgent is cooking is also not urgent. It can be pre-planned. You can cook in intervals if we are the kind of household. So there again, my whole thing. I don't want to take a lot of time, but in today's talk, I want to say this, that I cannot ask a mother, because I know women in my life who with their mizaj. What is mizaj called, Sarah? Temperament, who
Yeah.
who in their temperament cannot stay calm. They're anxiety prone temperament people. Now if
Yeah.
I'm talking to you and you're an anxiety prone temperament person, then I cannot say that, you know what, just calm down, just relax, it will be okay, because in your head you're saying, like, this is not going to work for me. You think I don't know that I need to calm down. I just can't calm down. Why are you telling me to calm down, right? And if you're a person like me who really does not care, and he's like fine with the messes around the house, then you're like, yeah, this is a good advice. Yeah, I can just calm down, and I can just delegate, and I can just know what is urgent and know what is not urgent, and eliminate a few things. For example, Sarah and I think we both, in our schedules, and I'm talking on your behalf, correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but we eliminate a lot of stuff that we think bothers our children. And that
Yeah.
is why we're successful homeschoolers, because, and I call myself successful not because my children are winning trophies, but because I know that I've bonded with them well. We have bonded with them well. We have a communication routine with them. They talk to us, they come to us, we talk to them. And so we eliminate certain things. For example, if I want them to do a certain class, and I see that in the first week, second week, third week, my child is getting stressed, then my objective is to eliminate that stress from my life and my child's life, and see if whenever my child will be ready for that, I will bring it back into their life. Because of course I'm not going to say, okay, no, just don't study math or don't study physics or whatever the subject it is. Okay, we will take a break and we'll come back. So eliminate those factors that you need to push and pull with your children during the
Yeah.
summer break. Okay, I will say this first and foremost. I come from a Pakistani family, and all of us South Asian knows that in our system, we are taught this. Sarah, you were not taught this, but I will tell you our system, where, because now you're in Middle East, so you know the Middle Eastern system. You know that,
Yeah.
oh my God, it is summer holidays, double tuition, because this is
Yeah.
the time when you will finish all the course, and when in September you go to school, you will know everything. मुझे आज तक नहीं समझ आई. I haven't understood. What was the purpose of making all the children cry?
Yeah, really, I completely understand. I have to say, like, I'm going to let you laugh and talk for you, but it's I've had the same request, right, with my tuition, and I've said to them that it's okay for the kids to relax and have a bit of a holiday, but I'm getting a lot of pushback from them, so I end up saying, okay, fine, we're going to have these classes. But I'm trying to make it so that it's not too much for the child, it's not too much for us teachers. And then I hear from other children that I've said, okay, guys, we're going to have this class on. And they said, oh, don't you think the kids need a break in the holidays? And I'm like, yes, I do. But since I'm getting, pushed by one side, and then in the end, I actually did decide that we're not doing, for the month of August, especially, we're not, we can't, because that goes, like Iram said, it goes against my fitra. It just doesn't go with what I'm trying to do with the kids. I want them to enjoy learning. I want them to love learning. That's the whole idea, right? Sorry, I had to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
No, that was a good interruption, because as parents, we are fearful. We're fearful that if anything COVID has taught us is that children don't lose anything.
No,
Yes, the test papers might not be happening on time, and the exams might not be happening on time, and the tension and the tension and the anxiety that the children go through, especially the school-going children. You teach GCSE, you know how important the board papers are and everything, the college routines and everything that did get affected. But that is only one part of the COVID. But the other part of the COVID was that we understood that even the younger children, the older children, they can only take that much of study. And all of the parents, I think, worldwide realize that schooling system does not teach children all the time, every second of the hour. It's not like that. The teacher comes in, the teacher gives the lessons, the teacher is offline. Then if you need to reach the teacher, then the teacher gives you instructions and she helps you. So that exactly means that when we are afraid that if we will not schedule in a regime style, then our child will lose something or our child will bother us. And to answer that my child will bother us, is Sara's answer, where she says, I take the younger children and I give them one-on-one time, because then the emotional bucket is filled. And trust me, when a child's emotional bucket is filled, our emotional bucket is filled as well. And once our emotional bucket is filled, because we see our child happy and they can engage with themselves and they can be fine by themselves playing or doing the activities that we have arranged for them, or they have chosen for themselves after discussing it with us, then we get the time to calm down, breathe and calm down and relax, and just maybe sip a tea or something like that. But alhamdulillah. So the thing is, again, I'll go back to this: what is urgent, what is non-urgent, what you can delegate, what you can eliminate. Then there is another thing. There is controlling your routines. Your mindset is a set of your beliefs, a set of your patterns, right? Attitudes. And our mindset is the foundation of what kind of a day we are going to spend. So if at night I know that I have 3 appointments, or I have to take my child for a therapy, or etc., or however it is, then I plan ahead. Then maybe if I need to make food or lunch for that day, then I make it at night. But that's not going to happen every night. So it's okay. That is one night of stress. That's 2 hours of stress. And that's okay. That's not going to repeat the next week. And if we know that that is the kind of lifestyle that we have to take our children for therapies or exercises or whatever they need to get out of the house, then we plan it over the weekends. What I want to say is, in the pockets of planning for children and around the children, is it really about the children or is it about us? It's basically about us. We want the children to be engaged and to be happy so that we can have some relief and we can be confident that, okay, fine, we're doing something good. Our children are happy and I have my own time as well. A frustrated, tensed, anxiety-prone mother cannot be a safety net for a child. And summer, for one thing, and this is because of our schooling system. There's no blame here. I came from the same schooling system. I was trained like that because of homeschooling and unschooling. Now I have a different belief set, and I have seen that for the past 6 years, and that's why I'm able to say this, that school itself is very stressful. It's very stressful for the children. All they want is just to, like you said, the children say, like, don't we need to take a break? And I know here, in all honesty, I know that what we mothers stress about today is that if I give my child free time, or if I let them be, then they're going to make a mess, like Sara pointed out, or they're going to be on video games, and that is not healthy for them. Then we need to control the environment and not the child. And controlling the environment also comes from what's urgent, what can be eliminated, what can be pre-planned, and what type of communication you have with your child, and the sets and the rules that we can make. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I love what you said about what can be eliminated, because I think that I think I mentioned at the beginning about the holidays in the UK. It was very difficult to eliminate family visits. It was very difficult to say, I can't, sorry guys, I know that you have missed me, you haven't seen me for a whole year, but I can't come and visit you, right? That's kind of difficult to say that because they're like waiting, they're saying, oh, when's you going to come back? When the kid's going to be here? When can we see them, right? So I think it is very important to do that. And when you say delegate, we can also outsource and delegate to other people, not necessarily, right, our kids or our family. So we can get, and I have someone helping me out, a nanny that's at home, especially because I'm working, right?
Yeah.
But inshallah, next year, I'm going to be all alone. It's okay. I'll have palpitations about that later. But I do have help, right? I do have this lady. Why? Because I am working. It's not a luxury. People are like, wow, you're so lucky you've got someone. No, it's not luxury. It's a necessity. Because if I didn't have that help, I couldn't do what I do. I couldn't give my students the time that they need. So, I do review classes, I do Saturday classes. Like I just explained to you, tomorrow I have to go back to work. I'm going to be there for 6 hours. And yes, it's going round and round in my head all day today. But, this is life, right? Okay, so we are working mums. And either we work half of the time and we plan for our homes the other half of the time, or we work full time and we get help at home. So whether you have a cleaner, whether you have someone that comes to do your garden, who comes to do your ironing, I would say to you, invest in that. That's not wasting money. That's not frivolous spending. That is investing in you and your time. Like Iram said, we've got to be a little bit thinking about ourselves as well. Do I have time to stand there ironing for 2-3 hours a week? I actually don't. Sometimes I don't even have time, like you just said about sipping your hot tea, and I was like, ooh, what's hot tea?
Hot tea is an expression in motherhood age, because tea is never hot. First
No,
sips are hot,
no.
and then you just keep either reheating or remaking. That's the
Yeah,
reality.
I'll make it again. Even Zachariah says to me, especially when I'm at school and I've just made myself a nice hot cup of tea, and then I get an email or I get something, and then I'm busy with that, and then I go to drink my tea. It's freezing cold, and I say, "Oh, Zach, can you warm it up now?" And then he warms it, and then after an hour, I'm saying to him the same cup. He's like, "Mom, I just did that. Why don't you drink it?" It's really important that we do take that time and we sit down and we mindfully. One of my videos in my homeschooling group is about mindfulness, and I think that's really important as well, isn't it, Iram? To be mindful of the activity, to be mindful of your time, to be thinking, right, I am going to go downstairs, I am going to get that cup of tea, I'm going to sit down at the table and drink it. And if I drink it in the kitchen, then I will drink it. But if I take it into the living room, anywhere near my phone or my laptop,
It's not going to happen. So I purposely keep the phone away, especially
yeah,
if I need to have a discussion, or I need to work, or I need to study, or I need to show my half of the time I study just to show my children that I'm studying, because then they will understand, okay, study is like, because I know this, they will follow whatever you do. And they
yeah.
have said this so many times before Iram bin Safia started, or Parenting Uncomplicated with Iram bin Safia started. My kids were like, you're always on the phone, you're always busy, you're always distracted. They said you're always distracted. Now they started saying you're always busy. So now I keep, because now I hate my phone, because now it's my work. First it was it was guilty pleasure. Now it's not guilty pleasure. It's work. I hate it. I keep it purposely away. Another thing that I remembered, it's on my phone, was that a small routine anchored to a time of day that makes the rest of your day run smoother. So for example, for, like you said, work moms. So we are part-time working moms, or entrepreneur moms, or the moms who, if we need to schedule something, we won't say by, for some people it works. For me, it doesn't, but for some people it works, like 9 to 9:30, nothing happens, only me working, sending out emails. However, as a busy parent, when you're working from home, or when you have children and you have homeschoolers, what you do is you say, today I will allot half an hour wherever I see fit to do that one, to do those three things. So you point out what are the three must do things that only I can do, right? And one of the things is that I can only respond to the emails. I can only record videos for my Facebook. I can only actually plan for what the next week is going to look like, or the next month is going to look like. So I take that time out. I say half an hour, one and a half an hour today I need, and I announce it to my family that today for one and a half an hour, inshallah, I will be very busy. I'll let you know when I'm going to start my work, and then after that, inshallah, we can I will be available. So instead of and because if you that's with me. So I don't know if you're my type of personality, but if I say that 8 o'clock I need to do this, and then 8:05 I'm still in bed in the morning, then I'm like 8 by 8:15 I'm like, forget about it. It's done. Halas, I'm not doing it today.
Yeah, I think I'm probably halfway in the middle of that, Iram, because I need the time. I need my phone is not here. Okay, so in terms of full honesty, I gave it to my daughter. The one I actually explained to Iram what she was doing. She came in, she wanted to be in my life with me, and I said to her, "You can't." So she hid in the wardrobe, thinking I can't see her. So I actually bribed her with the phone for a little while. But it's the same kind of thing, right? I need this time. Huff, sorry, I can't talk to you. Just go downstairs. And I gave her the phone. She's got a little baby game that she plays on there, and she's quite happy for a little while.
I've heard you say that this is mom's meeting time, so give also go. Yes,
yeah, exactly. So when you do that, that means the child knows that when mom's in that meeting, I've got the phone. Like, wow, I'm so lucky, But if you give her the phone all the time, then she's not going to feel that love about the phone. She's not going to be happy about it. She's going to be like, well, you always give me the phone, and now you're giving it to me because of your meeting. Well, what, So you have to make it
work. To have a phone whenever I ask the phone. I deserve to have the phone whenever I ask for it, because now it's a habit.
But exactly, yeah. And we don't want that, but we do want them to sometimes, like you said, we need our time, right? So we're working, we're on a live, we're doing something, so they know that they can't disturb us in that time. So when I say about the time slots, my difference that I do the new Iram is that I actually put alarms on my phone. So at 8 a.m. I will have an alarm on my phone that says lesson 1 and lesson 2, because sometimes I'll forget. Yeah, because I'm at home now. If I was at school, obviously I couldn't forget, because the kids will be standing outside my door, So I know that they're going to come in. But I've got the school lessons, I've got our meetings that we do, I've got our lives on there, and everything that I have to do, there's an alarm for on a calendar alert, something. By the way, I've just figured out calendars. I'm not 100% sure still how they work, but I think I've just figured them out. So inshallah, look out for that on our parenting website, because once I sorted that out, then our schedule for the summer is going to be up, isn't it? So we're just working on that. But what I do is I have a task. So I know tomorrow I need to do this, and I look like at all my other alarms, and I try to fit it in where I need to fit it in. And I know that, okay, I've got a lesson here, I've got, a meeting there, I've got this. And then I'm like, right, this is the hour that I need to do that task in. And that helps me, because when I'm sitting there, sometimes you do just sit back and go, oh, I finished that. Wow, I have 5 minutes to myself. But if I didn't do that, I would be like, continue with the next task. And I don't think I would ever have 5 minutes to myself. But when I put the schedule in, and some of the tasks don't take an hour, some of them take half an hour, some of them take 15 minutes, I know that I have the rest of that time to be like, okay, I'm done. I've done what I needed to do, and now I can take that bit of time out. And a lot of entrepreneurs, I think, funnily enough, Iram, you know what? I've actually had four different sisters contact me in the last week. People that I know, obviously, about their different businesses and how they feel so lonely. So I'm sure that there are other mums in parenting that you feel like that, because having your own business, building your own business is a lonely task, really it is. But I did advise them, and two of them were already on it. But Sister Sara Saleh's business group, that really helps me, especially because everyone's talking about their business, everyone's in the same boat. So just like you're here for the parenting, I would recommend that for the business. I would recommend, if you are a working mum, you can join a working mums group. And again, I feel like I'm giving you too much information, so I'm going to stop talking now.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. That I think people please write your messages, because if there is any question that's coming over, because I can not respond to the Facebook people. I can only respond on my YouTube, but Sarah can always respond to the Facebook.
Yeah,
So
I can respond on Facebook.
so there was this article, and I'm going to read something from it. It says that there was a research done by Dr. Stephen, and he is a psychologist, and he said that there are 16. The study was done on 6,000 people, and they said that there are 16 core desires that basically derive our behavior, that motivate our behavior. It's power, it's independence, it's curiosity, acceptance, order, saving, honor, idealism, social contact, family status, romance, eating, physical exercise, and tranquility. And as mothers, I know we want power. We want power over our children. We want to be independent in a sense that we don't want to be. We don't. We hate any human being. Actually, not just a mother. Any human being hates to be manipulated into something. So
Yeah,
and that is the struggle with our children, when we feel that they're manipulating us. We want acceptance. We want them to say, oh yes, you're the best mother on earth, I love you, mwah, 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 mwah. And never have any sort of arguments. We want order in their life and in our life. We want the ideal kind of a family life. We all want that. We all look for that. We all look into other people's lives and we say, oh, she has it all sorted out. Qasam se, we all are exactly equally messy in our departments. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covers our faults, and may He always cover our faults. But we're all striving and struggling towards the same thing. Making ourselves better human beings, and making our children, or trying at least to make them better human beings in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our nature. And then he says have sleep. Whenever somebody says have enough sleep, my mind goes to this. There are people who suffer from insomnia, and there are people who suffer from anxiety, and then there are people who have children who do not sleep throughout the night. It's not necessarily that they're just young children, they're children with disorders. And so those women, they have bags under their eyes and they never sleep. So we're not insensitive. Why am I putting this out there? Because when Sara and we talk about schedules, routines, summer holidays, we want the first and the foremost thing that I think will separate what we have to offer our audiences is, inshallah, that we are not saying that one size fits all. We
yeah,
are very much aware that every person has their backstory, and every person has their struggles, and every person has their own house routines and schedules. The only thing that we are trying to say is that we can help you through it by understanding you better, by you giving us a feedback, and then us giving us solutions that, okay, fine, if this is not helping you, then this might help you and this might help you. But at the end of the day, each one of us, each one of the listeners is a personality of their own. They have their own internal motives, and they have their own internal issues that they need to resolve, alongside with becoming calmer parents, to have a much more successful is not even a word, to have a much more memorable, nicer summer holiday with their children, and to make it a habit for the rest of their schooling years, because there's only so many years the children have summer.
yeah, definitely. There is the argument about, oh, in the summer the children regress and the children go back, and we have to start teaching again. This is all a myth, by the way. Really, it's a myth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's propagated because they want you to force your kids back into schools, make sure that they haven't gone back again. I don't know if any of you realize this, but sometimes when you go back into school in September, they'll say, yes, I know that at the end of year 2 he was on reading stage 4, but you know what, over the summer he's regressed, so he's gone back down to reading stage 2 or 3. And you know that you've spent the whole summer reading books to him, and you know that he's good at reading, but they insist on doing that because at the end of the year they have to show progression. So if they started your child on the right stage that they were at, that child now has to progress. But if they put the child a stage lower or 2 stages lower, they definitely will make it by the end of the year, and that's how they show progression. I have to say that to you guys, because that's one of the main reasons why I don't like schooling at the moment, even though I am a school teacher. And I know it sounds crazy and ironic, but that's life, isn't it?
Really? It's 100% true. I mean, even I'm a teacher, and then we know, like, and the summer doesn't start and we have put your children in summer camp, put your children in summer school, put your children in summer tuitions, put your children, and that same concept, like the whole math book should be done by the summer, so that September, October, November, December, up until March, what is the kid doing? Just revising. And if the kid is just revising, then okay, fine. I mean, that's a totally different argument. I'll just leave it at that.
We'll go into that another time maybe. But what we do need you guys to understand is that don't believe that this is going to happen to your children. No, what's going to happen over the summer is their synapses in their brain are going to start connecting. They're going to notice things. They're going to take you outside. Today, again, I was in the morning, I was just replying to somebody and I had to stop my voice message and, tell the kids, hey, look, there's a really cute bird outside. Look at it. And, we started trying to look it up and we found out it was a blue jay, I think, if I'm right. But yeah, it was really, really cute. It's such a small bird, but it's something so little like that takes 15, 20 minutes of your time, but they're talking about it all day long. And that's what we need to do. We need to encourage them, get that curiosity up. And it's not necessarily just, for homeschooling. It's for people that are working, for mums that, you might be working through the summer. What are you guys going to do? How are you going to keep up with these schedules that we're going to give you? They're going to be so rigid. No, what we're doing is we're going to give you some ideas, some helpful tips, some handy hints on how to make it easier for yourself, so that by the end of the summer you'll have that amazing relationship. That's what we've been building since literally from December till now, I think, right? With your children, so that we can do that for you. And if we do that just for one sister, just for one family, we will feel like we are successful. So inshallah, we hope to help more than one. We hope to help hundreds and hundreds of you, inshallah, and we are there for you. So do you want to finish off, Iram?
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for everybody joining in. We hope that whatever we said, inshallah, it was insightful, helpful. Just a reminder, maybe because everybody hears something or the other. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we remember. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, stay tuned for our other lives that are coming up over until we reveal our summer plan for you all. We're very excited about it. We're working really hard for it, inshallah ta'ala. And I hope, inshallah, that you will consider joining it, inshallah, once it's out there.
Inshallah, definitely. And I just love the messages. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. I'm reading some of the Facebook comments and we appreciate, and these discussions are for you guys. So if you would like to come and join us, talk to us, be on a live with us, then please do just send us a PM, come on. Or if you want, you can just have a chat to us before or at the end. We don't mind. You don't have to actually be live, do they, Iram? They can just come and chat.
Or they can come and we will just not show their camera. Their camera can be off and their voice can be heard. Yes,
we can do that as well, inshallah. Yeah. And we appreciate all of your comments. And I love this one here. We never have to make iced coffee. That is so true. The coffee is always cold. It's lovely. So yeah, it is. And inshallah, we will be back with you soon. And next week, inshallah, we'll be back with another live. Do let us know what you'd like to talk about. And please answer the poll in the Facebook comments if you can. Let us know what are your plans so that we can help you a lot better when we do our little plan for you, inshallah. Okay, so it's been lovely chatting to all of you. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for joining us again. And inshallah, Iram, you can finish off.
inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.